What is a legacy? Well, the dictionary defines it as money, possessions, or property left after someone dies. But I think it's much more than that. I recently came across an article written by Susan Bosek. She posed this question: where is the best place to plant a young tree? Do you plant it in an open area, or should it be planted among older trees? Ecologists say that a young tree grows better when it's planted in an area with older trees. And the reason is that the roots of the young tree can follow the pathways created by former trees and implant themselves in the ground more deeply. And over time, the roots of those many trees weave themselves into one another, creating an intricate, interdependent foundation. That's exactly what a legacy is. It's an interconnection delicately created that goes beyond the plane of time to keep a foundation for future generations. And when you're diagnosed with terminal cancer, that legacy is what you want to leave behind for your kids. I was diagnosed with incurable breast cancer at 28 years old when my twin girls were 4 and my son had just turned 3. It became my life's mission to prepare them for the time when I would no longer be with them. I wanted to fill their lives with wonderful memories of me. I wanted to create a foundation that will live on after my death. Doctors did not give me much hope for living a few years. To start a legacy didn't take much. All it took was one day. One day we learned to ride bikes. One day we learned how to read. One day we went to kindergarten. One day we learned how to play instruments. One day we played in the rain. One day we graduated elementary school. One day we went to the zoo. One day we had ice cream at Millie's. One day we had dinner on Mount Washington. One day we graduated middle school. And now 3,916 one days later, I'm blessed to be here to tell you about just some of our favorite one days that laid the foundation of my own legacy. Each one day is intricately woven together like the roots of a tree, creating memories that will go beyond my life. It's because of the amazing organization that you're here for today that I and my family, as well as hundreds of other families in our shoes, have had beautiful one days to remember. Like my friend Kara, who went camping with her husband and young boys at Lake Erie a few years ago. My friend Deltra took her young daughters on a trip around New York City. And my very best friend Emily, who just passed away, went on a trip to Universal Studios last summer with her family. Whether you're a first-time donor or you've been a long-time supporter of the organization, I want to thank you. Your generous support is what gives me and my friends and many other families these one days to remember that laid the foundation of our own legacies. And I know sometimes it's hard to see from the outside the impact that you make, but as a recipient, I assure you that I saw you all through my outing. You were in the sparkle in my kids' eyes as we walked into the behind-the-scenes tour at the zoo. You were in the contagious laughter from touching the slimiest pygmy hippo. You were in our smiles when we had ice cream, and you were in our hearts as we sat for dinner at Mount Washington and decided that even if I wasn't here on graduation day, they would relive this very moment and come back and have dinner right at this spot because of that memory, because of that one day. It wasn't just my legacy that I'm leaving, it's yours as well. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for being part of our roots and showing my children that those special one days all add up to a life well lived and loved.